What's going on, guys? This is the MMA Complex. My name is Josh.
And I'm James.
We're back. Brand new episode. It is August 7th. It is a Wednesday night. It is a good day. We just had down some margaritas. Feeling good.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of liquor, but those margaritas are really tasty.
Really tasty. Not too strong. Not too sweet. Just nice. Put a little salt on the rim. A little lemon, around the rim. That's how I like it. I'm a big margarita fan.
I've been obsessed with that michelada ever since you showed it to me.
Yeah. No, you got the spicy one. Did you try it without adding all this stuff?
I haven't yet.
Uh-huh.
I want to taste it with the spice, but
Yeah.
I've never. I was telling your fiance that I've never been a fan of micheladas until you showed me that beer.
That it's a Estrella Jalisco. They have the pina one. That one, I think because you added. You're saying it didn't taste like the greatest, so because I think you added a lot of stuff to it, right?
Yeah.
When I had it, I just put the tahini on the rim, a little lime inside, threw a little lemon in there, and then just poured it as is, and it was fine. It had the right amount of spice. It was the right amount of flavor. It was just like I didn't even need to do anything to it. It was like so. Maybe I was gonna actually tell you to get some before you got here. I told Liz, my fiance, I told her to get some before we started filming and all that, and she went to the market. But I think she got the lime burritos and all that stuff. But it was cool.
Oh yeah, it's good.
They did the job, so I was fine with that. Other than that, good weekend. For me, I don't know. What'd you do? Did you do anything on the weekend?
I went to the Holocaust Museum with my girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
And then I went to the San Diego Mall for the first time.
Huge. Yeah, huge, right?
Huge.
Yeah, I think you only got a portion of it.
Yeah.
You only went to...
Yeah, and she was wearing sandals, so she was already tired.
It's my favorite mall. It has all the good stuff. Has good food. It's huge, big... You can go to the movies, Dave & Buster's, 2 different food courts.
Everything.
Yeah. And they have the whole Asian, Japanese type of like food court section. And it's just it's awesome.
Yeah.
Dumplings. And you didn't get a chance to do the dumplings. How about the cheesecake, the Japanese cheesecakes?
I wanted to try it.
Those are good. I usually go to dumplings, pick up a Japanese cheesecake, maybe a little mochi ice cream or green tea ice cream, and walk around while I'm eating it while I'm walking around. It's bomb. Fucking love it.
Whew.
Yeah, go to the Adidas store. Go to maybe one of those anime shops. It's a huge mall. Zara.
I hate all the anime stuff.
Yeah.
I went to the Adidas store to just check it out. It's so expensive in there.
Yeah. Sometimes they have some good deals. I usually do all my stuff online. I don't really go inside the store.
Yeah.
But a couple of the clothing stores I like to hit up are there. And then just the food. I love the food, so I mainly just go there for the food, and then the shopping's a plus. So it's a big mall. So actually, I was in that area today. Took the baby, and me and my girl went to the Arboretum over there, right across from the Santa Anita racetrack. It's huge, man. I love it. It was actually I hadn't been there. It might have even been my first time, but last time I couldn't remember the last time I was even there. But the Arboretum, it's big, all sectioned off like Korea, and all the plants and trees that you'll see in Korea, Australia, Africa. Like they have like a jungle prehistoric. It's called dubbed the prehistoric one. They have all these old looking dinosaur like plants.
That's crazy.
Really cool. And it was a good walk. Nice walk, not too hot. The baby enjoyed it. He was good for like a couple of hours there. We were there for at least 2 hours, 2.5, almost 3 hours, and he was chill the whole time. So
it's free to get in.
Yeah, it was $9 to get in. Kids are free, but like for adults, I think it's like $8 or $9.
It's not bad.
Yeah, and what's cool is that you can go out for lunch. Like you just keep your ticket, and if you want to go to the mall and eat and walk around and then go back and walk it off, you can do that too. Like they'll let you do that, and then so I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't know that. And then they usually have like different events and different festivals and they have like this big open field. They were filming like some commercial there. It's like big fountain, big like outside concert venue. They have there right in the middle too. It's huge. It's a huge place. But that was we spent most of the day there today. So got a lot of sun, took a nap, and then now we're here. Now we're here filming. The weekend. How about the fights? Catch the fights?
I caught just a main event.
Just a main event. Yeah, me too. What did I watch? You mentioned the Colby Covington coming out to Kurt Angle's song.
Mm-hmm.
I think while I was watching it, I don't even know where the heck I was while I was watching it. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that. I think I was listening to it with the volume really low, so I didn't even hear that the crowd was saying "You suck."
Yeah, but you heard it loud, huh?
You
They were
suck.
loud.
Yeah, they were loud. So I like because I did not hear that part, so I would have definitely heard that. Um, yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that. If he rolls with that and that's his theme song
No,
now,
he said that that's gonna be from now on. That's gonna be a theme song.
what's crazy is that that's how big how big you know that like how you know that how big wrestling is and Kurt Angle was and still is kind of in a way. Is that that they know just to say you suck. Like
Yeah, that and it just shows you that how intertwined pro wrestling and MMA is.
yeah, yeah. Because
Because those fans are
we all know
graduate.
Colby is. I'm sure Colby's a somewhat of a Trump guy. You know, I'm sure he voted for him. I'm sure his politics run up to true
In
to
line,
up to
yeah.
a certain point.
Hmm.
But I've seen videos of him speaking to people, fans, giving words of encouragement to different people, and not all of them are white. Not all of them are like there's one Latino guy, obviously Latino, like darker skin, and he was just like Colby was being cool with him and talking about him, training jujitsu and telling him to keep on with it, and he could, make something of himself, and they embrace and get like hugs, and you saw that video, and you could see that, and it was true. You could see that Colby wasn't really just being like fake in any way. He was like
Yeah,
really true.
yeah. It's definitely
Genuine
a character
person.
that he plays, and
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
that's got him to his popularity. I
He does
mean,
it really well. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say he's the best talker. I would put
but
Connor. I would put
but
Connor and Chael on
he
there.
knows how to push buttons.
He knows how to push buttons, and has a
He's
gimmick, and he's sticking true to it. And
Yeah, and he's making people tune in because whether you hate him or you cheer him,
yeah,
you know,
and that gimmick
like
is really, really polarizing right now, especially right now. So
yeah, with everything going on.
yeah,
But like you can choose to hate him or cheer him, but as long as you care in
yeah.
whatever way, that's all that matters. But
As long as you
the,
want to see him lose or win.
yeah, the cool thing about it is that I think he reached out to Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley, obviously wrestles for WWE. So Kobe reached out to him and asked Bobby Lashley to ask Kurt Angle for his blessings to use his theme song from now on, and Kurt Angle agreed, and that's gonna be Kobe's new theme song from the rest of his UFC career.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that part. I like that.
Yeah, because he comes out with his American flag and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. Because it's like it's cool to see that like little bit of wrestling element
Yeah,
into MMA, which we all knew was there. But
and those of you who don't know, before Kurt Angle had that theme song, it belonged to the American. No, the Patriot was his name.
mhm.
Remember the Patriot? Like he's come out with the luchador mask, but he was American. He wrestled Bret Hart, and Bret Hart attacked him during the national anthem.
No, I don't remember that one.
Yeah,
No.
he was called the Patriot. Um, that was
That was his theme
that
song.
was his theme song. Kurt Angle actually took his theme song
Yeah,
and used it, but that theme song originally belonged to the Patriot.
yeah. That's cool.
So yeah,
Man, Kurt Angle was great, man. He was always like his out of the ring work and his in ring work was just like
insane.
insane. He was so athletically.
I
like,
love the his nickname. The wrestling machine.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
that name.
And he was just so his comedic timing, everything was like he had that like you knew he was tough, but he had that goofy
Yeah,
like you could push him
that
around type of
square
attitude, a
yeah,
square
it's kind
attitude.
of like a Captain America kind of
Yeah,
attitude.
yeah,
But
it's true. It's
then,
true.
yeah. Yeah, that and his in-ring work was
Yeah.
second to none. And
His matches with Chris Benoit were like
one of the
legendary.
best.
Yeah,
His that steel cage one where he did the moonsault from the top of the
Yeah.
cage, and then Benoit followed it with the headbutt.
yeah, the headbutt.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, those matches are great. But that was cool. Yeah, the fights over the weekend. I saw everything, I think, but the co-main event. I think I missed Jim Miller and Clay Guida. I know it didn't last long. It's like 58 minutes.
Yeah.
I saw Mickey Gall on up, and I thought Mickey Gall looked pretty good. And then he called out for a rematch with Diego Sanchez.
Mm.
He's like, "Oh, you knew I was sick the whole time. It wasn't a real win." So I would like to see that. That would be cool if they run it back. Um, and I saw the rest of the card. It was like all right, it was decent. Um, it wasn't like you know, nothing to really speak on too much. But let's just go with the main event. Um, Colby Covington going all 5 rounds, unanimous decision, picking up a win. Moving on to fight for the title. Really put on a pace that Lawler was not able to
Handle.
handle. Mixing up the wrestling, the striking, the striking, and doing it and landing shots. And even though they weren't the strongest,
He was
hardest
throwing
punches,
volume.
he was just it was a volume, putting on the pressure the whole 5 rounds. And we knew he was good, but man, he shut Robbie Lawler down. Much like he did with like DMI on RDA, how he shut them down. He did the exact same thing to Robbie Lawler. Robbie was, I mean, for lack of a better word, I don't know what it was. He shut him down, or he was just gun shy and just afraid to really commit to any punches. And it looked like Robbie. I was waiting for Robbie to kind of like open up because there were moments there where he could have, and he was really. It looked like he was just kind of like toying with Colby. Like nothing was landing. Things were just brushing off his arms. And then, they were close enough to maybe he could have threw a combination, a leg kick or two, and nothing. Like the whole fight, man. It was just Robbie was just bobbing and weaving the whole fight, you know, getting hit every now and then, fighting off a takedown, getting taken down, but constantly, I guess, having to defend from Colby and just never really got off. I don't know what you can attribute it to. What were your thoughts on the whole thing?
I think that maybe Robbie Lawler didn't get a chance to kind of open up. I think
Yeah,
uh, Kobe Covington fought a fight perfectly. I think he fought the way you should fight against Robbie Lawler. Is
yeah.
that you stay in his face, you don't let him.
Kept his distance really well to
Yeah,
where he would have to overcommit.
yeah, and like, you don't allow Lawler to get any kind of offense going.
But the fact that I think what frustrated a lot of people is that Robert Lawler didn't do like anything. Like he didn't even like he barely threw
Hmm.
any punches, didn't commit to anything. And normally, he's very aggressive. He's very like he'll throw strikes. He will but he was there. They were just standing sometimes in front of each other in you know touching hands, bobbing and weaving, touching hands, and it was
I mean,
like
who knows? Maybe there was an injury that he sustained during the
maybe
fight. There could have been a lot of things, but I think this fight reminded me of when because Kobe Covington, like I think everybody thought that, okay, well, this is his true test. He's finally gonna fight a guy that's good, and he's gonna lose against Robbie Lawler.
yeah.
People were writing off Kobe Covington in this fight because a lot of people felt that before Robbie Lawler, he was getting pretty much not maybe not easy fights, but winnable fights,
Yeah.
and this was a true test. So it kind of reminded me of when Connor fought Chad Mendes. Before the Chad Mendes fight, people were just saying, okay, well, Chad Mendes is going to be the guy to beat him. He's finally going to get that chance to
He's gonna
fight
finally fight that wrestler.
wrestling fighter. So I
Yeah.
think in a lot of ways, this kind of reminded me of the same scenario. And Kobe Covington, he showed up in the fight, and now he puts himself in a position to fight Kamaru Usman for the welterweight title, maybe in November.
Yeah.
And MSG.
Either November or MSG card in December.
Hmm.
So I mean, it's a long ways away, but I know Kamaro's still kind of healing up from surgeries and all that, so I think he's kind
Did
of forced to wait.
Did you watch that backstage? Not backstage, but at the Fox booth when they had to separate the two.
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't watch the whole thing. I
Mm.
didn't watch the whole thing. I saw a little bit of the trading
It's
going
kind of
back and
silly.
forth. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't watch a whole lot of it. I know what to expect. It was. I think because I knew what Kobe was gonna say, I knew what Kumar was gonna probably just come back with. It was like I'm interested in more of less about the talking and more of just from a physical, like athletic
I'm looking forward
standpoint.
to the build up actually.
Yeah, I'm
I
honest,
think
I'm
I think
curious to see how it's gonna go.
I hope it doesn't get racial.
That's what I'm wondering. Like it has the potential to get racial.
The whole time I was watching that
He
Fox
could say
convers,
shithole countries.
yeah,
Yeah, like see, I can
or
see him
third world
saying that.
countries or
Yeah, go back. You
flies or
can't come
some,
back with third world country.
yeah.
I can see him getting racial.
Um,
I'm sure he's debating on if he should go, how hard he should go. He's
he
gonna get racial.
he should. I mean, not that he should, but he. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's his gimmick. Why not?
Yeah,
I mean, I think people who know how he is and know it's a gimmick, they shouldn't take offense to it. But who knows? People take offense to anything these days.
people take offense to it.
But
I've seen stuff online already. Them going with his gimmick as like
thing.
a real thing. The Trump's being in the whole the arena, the Trump brothers and all that, the kids, them being there, it doesn't really help the. It helps Kobe, but that doesn't help the case that he's not like of the same mind, the same. Maybe
But
he is, but whatever.
yeah,
Up to a certain point, I think.
but the whole time when I saw uh Kamar and Covington go at it at the Fox booth, I kept thinking, well, like that must be awkward, huh? With him and Karen Bryan and Rashad Evans, and here you have a Trump supporter. I wonder what they think.
Yeah, who was there? Tyron Willie too, or no?
No, it
Was
was
this Rashad and Karen Bryant?
Rashad and Kevin Bryan
Mm.
and Kamar.
Yeah, yeah. I think they try to see it as a gimmick.
Mm.
I think they try to see it. I think
I don't know,
I would think Kobe's respectful to
I think
both
he tried
of
to
them.
shake Rashad's hand, and he was like, "Oh, I want to do it because I have to."
Who Kobe to?
Rashad to Kobe.
Oh, really? Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I'm sure he takes offense to it because I know
Yeah.
he's cool with the others than he is with. Not sure how
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah. I don't think I don't. I think a lot of people are like saying that like, oh, now we know how good he really is. But I think he proved how good he was in the RDA fight and in the Maya fight. I think he proved it a while ago. I mean, it was
I totally agree.
It was basically just a repeat of that.
Yeah, I totally
we're
agree.
we're just surprised that it shut Robbie down so much. That's what surprised everyone. Not that he won, but that he shut him down, or that
I don't
something
see
happened
that.
with
Like,
Robbie.
I don't see him doing it to Kamaru Usman.
No, no.
I think Usman presents a different a problem for Kobe, and that's his strength and his ability to finish fights. I think Kobe Covington, he throws volume, but he doesn't really hurt his opponent. I think if Usman gets a hold of Kobe, he's gonna hurt him and
Usman's
stop him.
Usman's, I think, I would say probably bigger, maybe a harder hitter. And Kobe is like more of a volume, pace kind of guy. But if Kobe goes in there and forces the action, forces the wrestling, forces the hands, he's probably not going to be afraid of him on the feet. If he's not afraid of RDA and he's not afraid of Robbie Lawler on the feet, I don't see him being afraid of Kamaru Usman too much on the feet.
Usman fights really well off his back, as far as like he throws strikes from his back.
Yeah, but those guys are kind of past their prime just a little bit.
Yeah,
so
that and every time you see two wrestlers go at it, they kind of cancel.
it cancels out a little bit.
So you might see a boring fight. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. I'm curious to see how it's gonna go. I don't know who I put my money on right now. If I was to say anybody,
I say Usman.
You say Usman? I'd probably go with Kobe, just based on the pressure, and I don't see him backing down for Kamaru Usman. I see him trying to apply the same kind of pressure, and not being as successful, I don't think, in some of the situations like the wrestling or the striking, but still attempting to apply the pressure. So, it was a good fight, decent card. We got another one this weekend. I think the matchups are a little bit better on this coming weekend, but
no, it's not. They're not.
no, I got to take a look.
They're bad. It's one of the worst cards. I think it's a card where I think that the UFC has an obligation to fulfill contracts.
Yeah,
and these guys on this card are pretty much guys that didn't fight before.
They really don't. It's really they don't care anymore. It's just we're just making cards, making fights.
This coming card is a one fight card.
Yeah,
And when we get to the fight picks, you'll see.
Yeah. Um, did you catch one championship over the weekend?
I did not.
Any of the highlights or anything like that?
I think what you told me over the
Yeah.
phone.
Okay. Yeah. I was up around this time. The main event pretty much was just kicked off when I woke up like around 6 a.m. our time, West Coast time. So the main card was on. It was perfect. Almost, I was up and ready to go, and um, you know, have no choice a lot of times with the baby and all that stuff. So I was up, and the fights were good, man. Demetrius, man, they're giving one championship's got some. I don't know where they're finding some of these Asian fighters, man, because these guys are straight up killers, dude. They are like, they are no joke. I mean, but Demetrius finds a way, and he's just that good. But it's not easy, and a lot, and both fighters that he's fighting are way bigger than him. So I'm not sure weight class wise, like how that works.
Because I know they have to fight above their weight class.
Yeah, all the guys, he's like literally up to the chin of his past two opponents.
What? No, I think with one they have to, like whatever you weigh that day
Yeah,
is the fight you have to.
yeah, it's
what you have to
interesting.
fight.
It's interesting because he can't necessarily apply some of his wrestling pressure or like not his wrestling pressure, but his grappling pressure, and it may be like tying up and knees and he can't muscle any of these guys
Yeah.
around. So he's
Yeah.
got to be slick with it, and he's got to be crafty with his attacks. His striking, his power may not hold as much weight because these guys are much bigger than him. And I think maybe because he's smaller than them, that and because of his name, they're really coming at him hard. But
maybe.
He's been able to find a way to outclass him eventually. He'll weather the storm a little bit, get past a round or so, and then just kind of take over. And that's basically what happened in this fight. He defeated Tatsumitsu Wada. Very talented fighter. Now he goes into the finals of the Flyweight Grand Prix. You have Eddie Alvarez came in right after that, and I was nervous for this one. I was like, "Oh shit, let's see what happens, man," because he's fighting Edward Foilong, who's one of their stars over there, one of their Filipino champions, former Filipino champions, and this is part of the semifinals of the lightweight Grand Prix. Eddie came out. Edward Foilong, he's a crafty veteran, and he's in his own game, and he's got really talented, really good striking. He's a big guy. Again, another big guy for the division. I know Eddie's his last guy was similar but really big. Edward Foilong's no different. Came in at one point, landed this sick outside leg kick to Eddie, and sent him to the mat. Like he wilted, and then Edward jumped on him, and then he got reversed, and Eddie reversed him. It was a quick scramble, took his back, flattened him out, choked him out. It was like bam.
Jeez,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It was a good matchup, and he was obviously super excited. Got up right away, and glad to pick up a win, and I was happy for him. Just to pick up a win and get that respect, because if he was going to go two down, it was not going to be good for him. Yeah, exactly. I would have doubted if he retired. Picked up a win. Now he's in the finals. It's not going to be easy finals for him, especially these last two fights for him have been rough. The finals, he's fighting a really talented, a top lightweight in their division, and he's a Russian guy. Dagestani type of Russian fighter, so it's not. It's it's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, it is.
It's not going to be easy. So that's what he's got to look forward to. But he's able to pick up this win and at least hold his head up. So that was a good win from Eddie. And then former guest on the show, the champ, featherweight title holder Martin Nguyen, picking up a win, TKO in the second round. Overall, a good weekend of fights. Really enjoyed both cards. So yeah, both good cards. I would say this weekend there's not much to look forward to. You got the Shevchenko and Carmouche card, but we'll get to that, break down some of the fights on that card, give our picks. Um, in the news, Frankie Edgar, after his loss to Max Holloway, is moving down to 135 officially. I think he'll probably end his career at 135. He's 37 years old right now. Um, he's most likely what everybody's gonna say, thinks is that he's gonna finally fight guys his own size, and everybody's gonna be some way. He's gonna give him a fighting chance. He can make the weight. He's just never really wanted to make that an excuse for him. Um, and now he makes a 135 fight move to bantamweight. Do you think it's a good move for him? What do you think?
Well, we talked about this. I think when the weekend after he fought Max Holloway, we both mentioned that we thought he should go down 135.
Yeah,
I think it's a good move. I think it's I would have liked to have him doing that sooner in his career,
yeah,
but it's better late than never, right?
yeah.
But I think it's a good move. I think he has a lot of good fresh matchups, and a fight that's intriguing would be him and the current champ, Henry Cejudo.
Yeah,
A great fight, and I think Frank Edgar can make some big noise, and he can beat a lot of these
135ers.
135ers.
Yeah,
The only thing that would be hard for him is his teammate Marlon Morales is also a 135-pound fighter,
that's a tough.
and
Yeah,
it's either Marlon going to go for the title or Frankie's going to fight for the title. But other than that, I think it's a good move for him.
yeah. I agree. That's a tricky part finding where his working it around Marlon Moraes and see how if he ends up having to fight him. I would say that they'll probably come to a mutual agreement that if it's for a title shot, they'll you know they'll probably give it a go with each other. But
They should fight each other. Yeah,
yeah, um, but I know they do train with each other. They are in a small group. If you watched the UFC countdown show for the Max Holloway fight, it showed his camp and who he trains with, Claudia Gadelia and Marlon Moraes and a bunch of other people, and it's a small knit group of people. Ricardo Almeida's gym and all that. Mark Henry there, and it's a small group, and they all like help each other out for their camps. And Marlon Moraes and Frankie are in the same division now. I'm sure they discussed it. Um, most likely, probably like, oh, when it comes to that, we'll discuss it. But I think what they most of the time it comes is what the agreement usually comes up with is if it's for a title shot, then we'll go ahead and we'll do it. But I think it's a good move. I'm glad he's doing it. I I don't want to say it's too late to really make any big waves. So for some guys like a Rashad moving down to 185, I think he did it too late. And he was already on his way out. Frankie he still got it in a
yeah,
lot of ways.
I completely
So I
agree.
think it's a little bit different. Obviously the big news, really big news of the weekend was Cyborg and the UFC have parted ways. This is
Forcefully.
forcefully. There was after the fight with was it Kayla Harris? No, after the fight with after Cyborg's last fight, there was a video that circulated around. Obviously, we talked about it. It was a doctored photo, was not photo, video of a discussion that Cyborg and Dana had backstage. So the subtitles were not correct in terms of what was actually said. Cyborg put a post out on social media backtracking it, saying that it was her PR team kind of made a mistake and she apologized and it wasn't how she likes to conduct business. Regardless, UFC and Cyborg still parted ways. Dana has been out there, even posted up a video of an interview he did with Shevchenko talking about it. I mean, almost immediately after, within 24 hours, I would say, of that Cyborg's video getting posted up and just talking about that they're out of the business. They're out of the Cyborg business. That's it. It's done is done. I think I don't think it's bad blood in terms of there's never a chance that things can work out. I haven't read the tweet, but I know there's a tweet that Dana put out that I think if there was a chance to mend the fences and make that match with her and Amanda Nunes,
Mhm.
that they will do it. Like I don't think it's a complete out of the
He
question type of thing. Did you come across that tweet?
he actually he said it in the scrum for the contender series,
Okay.
but he said that
What do you say
he's willing
exactly?
to do the one fight deal, but it's not gonna happen because Chris Cyborg's scared to fight Amanda Nunes, and he's not gonna do it.
So basically, they're still in negotiations. He's still. They're saying
No,
that they're
he
still offered, but
no, he said that they're out of the Chris Cyborg business unless Cyborg comes up to him and wants to fight Amanda, and then he was asked, well, if that happens, would you do a one fight deal? He goes, yes, I will, but that's not gonna happen because she's scared to fight him. Because Cyborg's scared to fight Nunes.
so there's still an offer there in some way.
I guess
But
you can say that.
he's saying that he's putting out there that she's too scared to come
Yeah,
back.
to fight.
So basically, like baiting her, like she's
Yeah,
too scared to come back anyway. Like she ain't gonna fucking make it. So
yeah,
now it's in putting the ball in her court. Like
yeah.
here,
The thing is, it was never about her being afraid. It's about money.
money. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I and my the UFC has never necessarily had her back in a lot of ways. They put her in fights. They put her on big key cards and
Matchups.
matchups. All basically 135ers. Made her cut weight for her like debut fights and went down to 140, and we all got to see the weight cut and how dramatic that was, and just never really made it easy for her. Always had issues with negotiations in terms of fights and contracts and all that. And I know a lot of it wasn't Dana's issue with wasn't necessarily with Cyborg, is mainly with her management and her boyfriend, who is a big part of her management team, and
Well, he's the one that runs
her social
her
media
social
thing.
media, and I think it's he's a problem.
Yeah, so that might be the biggest her problem for her is
I mean,
her
look,
management.
like I think before the video was surfaced,
Yeah,
I think she was people had sympathy for her, and she was a sympathy figure. But I think when that video got released, she was as bad as Dana in people's eyes, and then
yeah,
she messed up, and she like you don't do that kind of stuff.
no,
But people that know Chris Cyborg know she's a sweet person, and her boyfriend is the one does. I'm sure he does her production.
yeah,
He runs social media, so I think a lot of that what happened was what he did, and she should get rid of him or not. Maybe not break up with him, but get a manager that's not so close to her.
yeah.
But I think she messed up because she's responsible for her own brand.
Now, do you think her brand will get hurt if she doesn't sign back with the UFC, even though
No, I don't
it's
think
there?
so. 'Cause I think people I mean we know a lot of the people that know her, and I think they're loyal fans. And I think no matter where she goes,
Yeah,
she's gonna have that fan base that adore her.
yeah, and then but the casuals probably will lose track of her. I think.
I mean, it all depends on where she goes. I think Bellator has become um, obviously not only a big player in the game, but I think people, even casual fans, watch
Yeah,
Bellator.
yeah.
Who knows though? I mean, is she a big enough name for a casual fan? Maybe not. But
But I know. Well, she's in the UFC when she's fighting Holly Holm and all that. Like casual fans will know
mm,
who she is. Like
yeah,
casual fans know who she is. Like my girl's mom knows who Cyborg is. Like when she fought Holly Holm,
hmm
she knew about that fight. So that's why I know.
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's why. That's the good thing about being in the UFC is that here in the states, with the right fight and the right matchup, you'll get eyeballs. You know.
Yeah, I think as a fan, I'm kind of pissed because I want to see that second fight with her and Amanda.
Yeah.
But I think that when you got these two entities kind of battling each other, I think it's just best to move on and separate from each other.
Yeah, it's not a good working relationship.
And
It's best to move
I
on.
think where Chris Cyborg goes, that's going to be a good thing for her. She's still
Where
going
do
to
you
get
think she should
paid.
go? What's the best option
I
for
think
her?
I think that her toughest fight is probably that one girl from the um, Professional Fight League, PFL.
Kayla
Kayla,
Harrison,
yeah,
who actually has been calling her out.
Yeah, I mean she's a 155-pound fighter. I think they can maybe meet somewhere in the middle. I think Chris can make 155 easy. I think that's a. I mean that her toughest fight, but after her like she has nobody. I think Bellator probably be her best suit. She'll be
I,
dominant there and she'll get paid.
I think I think Bellator is a couple things that she has to consider. Like if she goes to one, she gets the Asian market. They definitely watch over there. She's gonna lose a lot of the U.S. fan base, but she's gonna gain a bigger audience in Asia. They're gonna promote her like a champion. They're gonna promote her like crazy over there. They're probably gonna
Mm-hmm.
pay her a good amount of money. They'll find fights for her. A lot of times they'll probably be, easy matchups. I'm not sure what kind of 145-pound girls are out there in
Yeah,
the one
it's just that
championship.
it's in Asia. I think Bellator's a
It
U.S.
is.
market.
It's a big commitment for her. But she'll get paid, and she's got the whole Asian market. And you see some of those cards and some of those events that they have over there, and some of those promotional like events that they have, and like the mall.
No, and I
They
agree.
got
I think
fans.
her relationship with Scott Coker and that promotion is
Yeah,
just going to be too big of a
that's
factor.
that's why I think she's probably gonna. I think she's gonna go with Bellator. One, it's close to home. Two, she already has a working relationship with Scott Coker. She'll get paid.
It should be a dominant champion. I mean,
Yeah,
who's going to beat her in Bellator? Nobody.
but they have a division for her. They have a champion holding that title already, and Julia Budd. They'll promote her, and they'll probably definitely put her on those big cards, like the
The tempo cards,
the forum cards.
San Jose.
The big San Jose card, or like the big New York card that they do. She's definitely gonna get those. Fight two times on each year on the big temple cards. It's not a bad thing
Yeah,
for her. She
I
fights close to home. She doesn't have to
yeah.
travel. She doesn't live in Asia.
I think that's going to be the her
That's gonna be her.
destination.
Yeah, it's on the zone. It's on Paramount. It's still in the U.S. If she has a big highlight, ESPN will probably pick it up.
Hmm.
It,
Yeah,
it it's she gets sponsors. It's just there's
it's
too
just
many
all.
pluses.
Yeah, there's no cons and really all
There's no
pros.
cons. You don't lose anything. You just gain. I think Bellator is the best option. I
Yeah,
think she's gonna go there. That's where she's gonna end up.
I agree.
Um, I wouldn't be surprised though if they make the fight with Amanda. If he's still offers still open, I could see that happening.
That's if Chris approaches Dana.
Yeah, and they
Before
come up.
that happens,
They have to come to an agreement.
Chris said that she before she entered the octagon again, that Dana White, one of her requirements is that Dana White has to apologize to her publicly. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So, in terms of we didn't touch on this, but with Colby Covington getting the title fight against Carmouche Usman, that leaves out Jorge Masvidal, who was on a big run.
Mm.
Um, do you agree with them skipping over,
Yeah,
Jorge to give Colby the
yeah,
title shot? Yeah.
I do because Kobe was the interim champion.
Would you have rather have been more interested if it was a Kamaru Usman Masvidal fight?
Yeah, I think so. I just think that Kobe like those titles need to get unified.
Yeah, I think it
And
definitely helped his case
and
with having a dominant
yeah, and dominant win
fight.
with
Dominant
against
win.
Robin Lawler, is a big factor. But I think that you know the interim champion should fight the champion to unify those titles, and I think that
Yeah,
I'm not. Yeah, that's the way it should be.
yeah. All right, let's get to the fight picks this weekend. You have Invicta FC 36 in Kansas City. Sorensen versus Young. It's crazy how like how much of a drop off Invicta has had.
Mhm.
They were like a traveling around a major, third string kind of like player in the MMA biz, fourth string. They'd put a lot of their events sometimes on the UFC weekend, international weekends, and it looked like they're good and doing good, and then UFC just gutted them out.
Yeah.
And now they're a shell of their former self,
Hmm.
staying in Kansas City. They don't even travel really anywhere in terms of putting on events.
They can't even afford to travel.
Yeah, it's just they're based out in Kansas City, but then they stay there. That's it. So Sorensen versus Young, that's on UFC Fight Pass. And then you have UFC on ESPN 14, Shevchenko versus
Liz
Carmouche.
Carmouche.
2. This is the second fight. They fought 8 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, and this Carmouche won.
Yeah. And now this is a rematch. This wasn't in the UFC when they fought. So let's go over the card. And you were saying that it's a light card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Mariana Rodriguez, Tisha Torres. There's rumors out there that Tisha Torres and Raquel Pennington are on the rocks. That's the word out there.
She probably sucked the dick out.
You have Veronica Macedo versus Poliana Viana, Gilbert Burns, Alexei Kunchenko, Alex De Silva, Rodrigo Vargas. Even on the main card, who is this? Enrique Barzola versus Bobby Moffitt, Oscar Piochoda versus Rodolfo Vieira. Lier Latifi versus Ozdemir. I like that one.
I forgot he was on that card.
Who do you have with that one? Latifi versus Ozdemir.
I like Ozdemir.
You like Ozdemir? I like Latifi. I think he's in a grand amount. I think he's gonna make it a dirty fight. Go for single legs, double legs, and some dirty boxing, and just kind of keep it interesting. Kind of Volcom on the back foot.
Right, like the whole card is like not.
No, Humberto Bandene versus Luis Garagori.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with any of these. Vincente Luque versus Mike Perry. I like that. That's a good fight right there. That's an interesting one. I'll go with a shoot. I don't know. Vincente Luque is more of a technical fighter. Mike Perry is obviously coming around, training at Jackson's now, so that's an interesting one right there. You have a pick for that one?
I'll go Perry.
Perry. Yeah, training at Jackson's now. He's a little bit more, technical. He's tightening
more
up
rounded, yeah.
Closing up his holes. Valentino Shevchenko versus Liz Carmouche. This is a 6 p.m. card. No. Yeah. About 5 p.m. card. ESPN plus 14. So, what do you have?
I'm gonna hate myself for picking this, but I'm gonna just do it for the underdog. I'm gonna go with Liz Carmouche.
You're gonna Liz Carmouche?
I know Valentina's gonna beat her, but I'm just for fun.
I mean, crazier things have happened. Carmouche can catch her with a punch and just try to take her back, and that's it. That's it. There's the fight.
That pro wrestling kind of ending.
Yeah. And then having to do the rematch.
She's so strong. She has that win.
Yeah, she hasn't been active really, but she's technically well-rounded. She's strong. She's still relatively in fighting shape and youngish.
I guess too, because
30s,
she's the first female to fight for in the UFC along with Ronda Rousey. She had Ronda Rousey on the rope.
Yeah.
She could have won, but
she knows how to finish. She knows how to fight.
I just want her to win a title.
Yeah.
I think she deserves it.
Yeah.
She's one of the first. I mean, her and Ronda started it all.
It's true.
And she deserves a title. I don't know. And then we're really cool with Manny, her coach, and those guys out there, and San Diego, and her teammate Aleo McFarlane. We know very well.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
So
you see, Alima's gonna be on Family Feud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for her.
Knockout.
Ryan Bader, Alima.
Yeah. I just
Randy Couture, who was and Chuck.
I just hope Chris Albert can go down to 125 and fight Alien. Yeah.
That's not going to happen. Valentina Shevchenko, Liz Carmouche. Yeah, I'm going to go with Shevchenko. I'm going to go with the champ to kind of just dominate, this well-rounded, dominant champ.
Yeah.
She's on top of her game right now. I mean, these type of fights that are just put together like this are always dangerous. Something can happen. You never know. Liz Carmouche is a crafty veteran.
Yeah.
If do I feel like she deserves a title? I mean, it'd be nice for her. I'll be happy for her. I'm not really like, if she does, she does.
It's one of those things where the UFC knew that these two ladies fought, that Liz Carmouche had a win over her. So that gives a storyline. Yeah. It just, who else is she going to fight?
Like, Liz hasn't really been active.
Liz is a name.
She picked up one win.
Yeah, she's a name. This is a rematch, and that's a storyline going to this fight. Who's going to win? the second time around.
Yeah.
I think the UFC booked this fight because there's no one else for Valentina to fight, and that and Carmouche has a name to main event of a card.
Yeah. I would go with Valentina. I'll just go with that.
Yeah.
So that's my pick. So all right. That's our show for the week. Thank you guys for watching, listening. Go to MMAComplex.com for all things MMA Complex.
You can follow us on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all under the MMA Complex. Not a very deep card, but an interesting main event, and I'm looking forward to watching that fight. And next week we'll recap everything plus all the news of the week. So until then, enjoy your week and enjoy the fights.